Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, which is brought to you today with some extra dog noises occasionally from outside, but I'll fight through those. Now, this puzzle I'm looking forward to. This is by Justin Vitanza, and I've done a couple of puzzles by Justin lately, I think. Maybe only one on the channel, but they have been excellent, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Justin does next. So I'm really looking forward to this puzzle today. Now, it's called Would You Like That Toasted? And that's clearly because the words hot sub appear in the grid, which is brilliant. I will get to the rules in a moment. I'm looking forward to this though. But we have crunchy sandwiches and bulbless thermometers, whatever that means. I'll explain in a moment, but first of all, don't forget that there's all of our apps which feature Thermo Sudoku and Sandwich Sudoku, two of my favourites, I have to say. Both brilliant apps, by the way, but there are many others that are very, very, very good. Check those out on the links under the video, where you will also find how to get to Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise, which are great stuff too, but also Patreon, where you can find this month's monthly reward. There's a competition up till the 20th, but it'll obviously stay up all month. It is the CTC Clone Pack by Jojobo, and it is great fun. Do give it a try. There's also loads of other content on Patreon all the time, and we recommend it very highly. Now, let's do the rules of Justin Vitanza's Would You Like That Toasted? Normal Sudoku rules apply, so that's putting the numbers 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, the sandwiches have clues outside the grid that indicate the sum or something about the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So in this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to less than 10. Now, bear in mind, that could be 0. In this column, did I call that a column when it's a row? I don't know. In this column, the digits between the 1 and the 9 add up to more than 2, which is not very limiting, but it's still something. Now, the grey lines are bulbless thermometers. Digits on a grey line increase from the bulb end. Where's that, you're asking? I'll tell you. Each grey line has a single bulb whose location must be determined by the solver, but it will always occur at an end of a line, i.e. thermometers may branch but not at the bulb. So the bulb on this T shape will either be there, there, or there. If it's here, then we've got 2 thermometers branching up that way. If it's there, we've got 2 branching that way and that way. And if it's there, branching that way and that way. So we don't know yet. We're going to have to work out. This H has 4 possible locations for its bulb, but the O here only has 2. Anyway, those are the rules. It doesn't seem like enough information to solve the puzzle to me. So we'll see how this plays out. I reckon it's going to be difficult. Give it a try on the link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. I mean, there's no given digits in the grid. Nothing like that. So we don't know which way any thermometer goes. Okay, what we do know about the thermometers is that any digit... Right, the first thing we know is that where do 1 and 9 appear on a thermometer? They can only appear on the bulb or the tip. They can't appear in a cell that has definitely got a higher and a lower digit. So there are a number of cells in this that we can mark as not having a bulb, or not having a bulb or a tip, which means not being 1 or 9. And that coincides with colouring I like to do in sandwich puzzles, where green means not a 1 or a 9. So all of those things I've marked can't have a 1 or a 9. So we know, for instance, there's at least one of the 1 or 9s in these cells, because they can't both be there for box 8. Remember, there are 2... I'm going to make them red if I find them. Red cells in each row, column, and 3x3 box. Right. This is, in some ways, the most informative sum. No, maybe this is. No, actually, maybe this. I don't know. Anyway, greater than 15 is informative in this case. These cells have to be in the sandwich, and I know that because the sandwich has to be made up of digits between 2 and 8. If it's greater than 15, it has to be made up of at least 3 cells sandwiched between the 1 and the 9. Now that's got to include these, because if you started the crusts of the sandwich after that, you wouldn't get enough cells in between, and the same for before. So there is 1 sandwich digit in those cells and 1 in those cells. That's less interesting. The 1 in these cells is interesting because it means for box 1, the other sandwich digit, the single 1 exactly other sandwich digit, is in those cells. So we're not putting 2 into those cells. We can't afford 2. We've only got 1. And therefore these are in the sandwich in row 1. And they are in fact the entire sandwich in row 1. They are a 2, 3 and 4. And therefore they are sandwiched directly in between the 2 crusty digits, which are here and are a 1 and a 9 in some order. One of them is a bulb on its thermo and the other isn't. Oh, sorry, I meant to unmark those. Now, oh, we know the order, don't we? That can't be 2, 3 and 4, or this thermo would be going the wrong way round entirely. So 2, 3, 4. And in fact, this must be a 1 on this thermo, and it goes red. Now, the rest of the cells on the long thermo here, I can pencil mark, but the 9 is in one of those 2 cells, and I'm not sure I have the information to know which yet. I mean, the trouble is that did something, but it didn't do an awful lot. These are in the 15 sum, and I mean, well, I don't know, I suppose I know that's not a... No, I don't know that's not a 1. Forget that. I suppose these cells are 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now, is that going to tell me what either of these digits are? Well, I mean, this can't be the bulb. That could be a 9, but it doesn't have to be the bulb. Ah. Here's a way of knowing that this is not a low end of the thermo, because the thermo would then have to rise up here. Now, it could just be the low end of a thermo, wouldn't be the bulb necessarily, but it could be the low end if... Oh no, maybe I'm misunderstanding how a bulb works on a thermo. If it wasn't the bulb, what I was going to say is, you could theoretically make this lower than this if this went 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but then there would be no number to put in here. Anyway, I'm not going to say that. This cannot be lower than that now. So this is lower than that. That is a necessary corollary, isn't it? No. No, it's not. Because if we had 1 here, this could go 2, 3, 4, and that could be 5, and that could be 9. Oh, this is going to confuse me now. Okay, this can be lower than that, and it just depends on the branching of this thermo. Bother. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. I don't know what's going on then. Okay, I'm going to look down here. Oh, and we've got this less than 4 clue. Right. Ah, okay, okay, that means this is not a crust, because then you'd have 2 digits in there that would be at least 2 and a 3. So that's not a crust. Now, I think I might be able to rule out this being a crust, but I have to think about what digits these can be. This is a 7-cell thermo. Actually, so is this, And so is this. It's quite odd. The SU and B don't look like they're the same length, but in Sudoku terms they are. Now, if I was to try and mark these up fully, the interesting thing, I suppose, is that these digits cannot be 1 or 9. But also, they can easily be 2 or 8 on their various ends, and I think they can be 3 or 7. They might also be able to be 4 or 6, but they can't be 5. Yes, and it gets better towards the middle, because these ones can't be 1, 2, 8 or 9, because they couldn't reach an end of the thermo, the nearer end, as it were, to the sequence of digits. And then this has to be 4, 5 or 6, because it's in the middle of it's the fourth cell from either direction. And that is enabling me to mark this cell green, because if this was red, the sandwich sum here would be at least 4, and it's not allowed to be. So that's green. So now the red cells in this row, both are confined within this 4-cell space, but I'm not actually sure that's very helpful in the end. I mean, I've gone through a bit of work to get to that, but it doesn't really do much. And the reason I say that is because they could actually be next to each other. I already knew at least one of them was in this group of cells, and I know that again in a different way now. Okay, how about this? We've got greater than 2. Okay, so there is a sandwich cell involved, and one of these, at least, one of these crusts is in one of those cells, maybe both. But even that doesn't feel very helpful. I'm wondering if I've missed a rule now. I suppose I could mark these digits up in the same way as these. I'm going to do it. I don't know what it's going to prove, but okay, I mean, we get 2 different digits in this row that are 4, 5 or 6 now. It doesn't feel like a lot to work with. I suppose I can mark this one up in exactly the same way. And again, I don't think it, well, hang on. I've got a 4 looking at that cell and at that cell. I don't know, does that do anything? It doesn't look like it does anything. It doesn't, sorry, was that grammatical? I don't know. Ooh, how could this be the low end? It would have to be a 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with a 1, 2 pair here. But it could be. Now I'm worried I'm going to have to go back to this thermo. Sorry, I was actually worried about this one, but I'm looking at this one first. If that is a 1, the bulb, then this is 5, 6 or 7, 6, 7 or 8, 7, 8 or 9 forming a triple. That's interesting. Could this be the bulb? 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9 there. Or if this is the bulb, which altogether looks more plausible, a low number here, a not quite so low number there, 5, 6 or 7 here, 6, 7 or 8 there, and 9 here. I just don't know. Okay, I've got to think about this U again. That can't be a 1. But I think 1 could be here and here. There are so few sandwich clues, it really is incredibly unhelpful. If this wasn't a 3, it's part of a 5, 6, 7 triple. If it was a 3, this is a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 1, 2, 3. Then what? I don't know. I can actually mark these ends because they can't be 4, 5 or 6, I've just worked out. I don't know if that's interesting. That one can't be 1 or 2 by Sudoku. Oh, so this can't be 2 or 3. We can't be ascending from anything less than 3. So that's not 2 or 3. This isn't 3 or 4. Now, I can't eliminate 4 from this one because that could be a 4 starting at the other end. And I didn't, well, okay, this can't be 8 either because that would be 9 and that would be impossible. So there are some sort of stacking eliminations that I can do. I think this can't be 7 for the same, well, now that, yeah. This is now 5 or 6 exactly, and that's 4, 5 or 6. And we've got the beginnings of a triple in the bottom row, or in box 8. If that was not 7, this is a 4, 5, 6 triple. And then 3 would have to be in one of those cells, which is very strange. Oh, right. I don't think this can be 7 or 8, because that would be on the high end and would require that not to be 3. I suspect this can't be 6 or 7 for the same reason. I think that's right. This can't be, well, I wanted to say it can't be 5. I think I'm right. How could that be 5? Yeah, this not being able to go 7, 8, 9 was quite important actually. I don't think this can be 5 from either end of this. And maybe it can't be 6 either. Or could it 6, 8, 9 here? And then 5, no, that won't work because we can only start with 3 from there. So this can't be 6. This is specifically 3 or 7. This is so surprising. Nothing about this is working out as I thought. I wonder how that could be 3 now. I don't think it could. I think from 3 or 7, we're working up 2, 1 or 8, 9. We are. And this is now red. This is 1 or 9 here. And that's in the row. Ooh, now. What if this was a 9? It would be quite interesting to make it not a 9. I'm not sure. I think it would be quite interesting. But if that was a 9, this would be a 1, and there'd be a number in between them that has to be less than 4, which would have to be 2 or 3, but it's impossible, because if that's a 1, this is 2, and that's 3. That is absolutely mandatory now. So that cannot be 9. This is so strange, this puzzle. So that's green. The 2 reds are next to each other in this row, and 0 equals less than 4, so we're obeying that. But I don't know which of these is red. If I knew they were different, I would know that was green, but I don't know that. We're either going 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or we're starting 1, 2, 3 there. This can be 6, but only if we're starting from this end. Oh, goodness, there is a red in one of these 2 cells. I don't think that helps me in the least. Oh, this red is in this column where there's a sandwich of greater than 2. So that digit is green, but I don't know where red goes here. It goes in one of those 2. Lots about this puzzle doesn't make any sense. That's my strong feeling. just don't think I'm learning as I go in this one. Normally in these puzzles, I learn how the puzzle works as I move along. In this, I feel I'm learning nothing. And it's entirely down to me. It's not down to the constructor. I do know that 3 is either there or there in this box now. And where's this digit? Well, it's either a 7 or 8 in one of those cells, or a 7 or 8 in one of those cells. Oh, if this is 789, which is one of the alternatives, then this is 4, 5, 6, and that would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, what if this is 1, 2, 3? Then that's 4 or 5, 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8. I don't know. I hope I'm not misreading a greater than or less than sign. Because I just don't feel like I've got any information. Oh, okay, here's a bit of information that I didn't realise I did have. This can't be 1 and 9 because one of them is there in the column. So there is a little bit of constriction on these, I think, as a result. But what does it mean? I mean, this could actually be neither 1 or 9. This could be 2 and 8 if we went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which would be interesting because both ways would make that a 5. But I would have to get a second red digit in this column. I have not done that. I haven't really approached getting another red digit in this column. Maybe this needs another red digit. I don't think it does. Not yet. Okay, if that's red, that's the same type of red. And so is that. Ah, this might be worth thinking about. Right, so if that is red, that's the same colour of red, so is that because of row 1. Then in box 9, that red would have to be here. I don't know, is that any use? That red would be in one of these 2 cells and these 2 cells. Ah, but it would be in one of these 2 cells, so it wouldn't be there. It would be 1. That's really interesting. So if this is red, if this row 7 column 3 is red, it's 1. It can't be 9, therefore. Yeah, okay, I see that. Because if that was 9, that would be 9. One of those would be 9, and you couldn't put 9 in box 2. So that can't be 9. How do I mark that? I mark that by putting 9 in row 7 in one of those 2 cells. Now, can I rule this out from being 1? Then I would have a pair. One of those would be 1. This would now be 9. Oh, maybe then I have to think about the actual makeup of the digits in the columns. I can't see why it goes wrong. Oh, hang on though. If that was a 9, this is 9, 8, 7. This is 4, 5, 6. That's 1, 2, 3. And if this is 9, this is 3, 4, 5. That's 1, 2. This would be from 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that's fine. There's no... Well... 5 would be there and there. So, and that would be 4... No, it works all right. I think that works itself out fairly naturally. Which is annoying, because it means I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to think about this. I don't know. I want to think about this H again. Maybe I know more about that than I realise. For that to be a bulb, it would be a 1, obviously. Then you could easily go ascending up here. This would be at least 5. Okay, well, if this was a 1, this couldn't be 2, 3, 4 here, because all of these cells would be from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that would be too many of them in the row. So, I mean, if that's a 1, this doesn't go 2, 3, 4. This would already be 5, 6, or 7. Maybe I can prevent this being a 9, but the trouble is I don't know where the bulb is if that's a 9. Gosh, I don't know. Okay. There are probably constraints on these cells that work a bit like this that I just can't even figure out. Or maybe this column. If that was 2 and 8, this would be 3, 5, 7. I'd love to come up with a reason why that's 2 and 8, but I haven't got a scintilla of one at the moment. Maybe I do need to colour reds, but I don't know where to start or how to do that really. This, okay, I mean, yeah, this red, let's call it orange, is the same as that colour in row 1. That one, let's call it yellow, is whatever it is. Orange is in one of those 2 cells, but yellow I don't know about over this side. I do know it can't be in those cells. I don't know how that helps. If that's a 9, it's clearly yellow. Okay, this is interesting. If that's a 9, that's a 9, and that's a 1. And then up here, we're going 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8. And if that's a 9, that forces this to be 6. And that to be 5 because of the 7-8 pair I'm postulating here. Then we'd have a 7-8 pair there, which doesn't matter down here annoyingly at all. I don't know, I feel like I've almost got something there. So if that was 1, this is 7 or 8, because this is constricted. In fact, that would be a 5, 6, 7, 8 quad, and that would have to be 5. And that, I don't know, that, I don't know, but this would be 7 or 8. So if that was a 1, this is definitely a 9. If on the other hand this is a 9, then this is a 9. And I think this is the bulb, but I'm not sure now. Yeah, it's interesting. If either of these are the bulb, this makes up a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad, definitely. Something here doesn't work. If that was from a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad, these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they're separated by 3 cells. So they'd have to be 1 and 5, and this would have to be 2, 3, 4. And I thought we had a problem with that. Yes, I was saying 2, 3, 4 would be roping, but that can't be 2, 3, 4 because I'm postulating this as at the high end. So it can't be at the high end. It can't be higher than that, because it would form a quad here, make those 1 and 5, and a 2, 3, 4 triple that couldn't be replicated. Wow. So this is not the high end. This is the low end of this strut of the T. And that means we're ascending up here, and we have to keep ascending to there, and that's a 9. And this yellow one is a 1. So that's a yellow one there. We've got a 9 somewhere here. Now, we're ascending up there as well. So I'm going to do some pencil marking because I cannot be constrained from doing that. 7 are the max there. We've then got a branch to here and here. I don't know. Okay, that wasn't really worth it, but at least I found that was a 1. This can't be a 1 now, and that can't be a 2, and that can't be a 3. This can be a 4 if we're going the other way around, though. Now, does this all tell me what this is in terms of a 1 or a 9? I've learnt that this, I knew that this was a 1, but I've learnt that it's yellow. That's what I've learnt. And this is orange, and these two cells see both yellow and orange, so they're green. So the 1 is somewhere here. It's probably there. We're ascending up there, so that's not 8, and that's not 5. And that's not 9, obviously, sorry. 9 in this box is in one of these 3 cells. Yes, it definitely is. So that is an 8. And this thermo is done. And the whole box is done. And that is a red, orange 9. That's green. That 9 is looking at that cell and making that a 9 in box 8. And that tells me which way round this thermo goes. And more than that, it tells me that it goes down to 3 at the bulb. And this is a 1-2 pair. Interesting. And that includes yellow somewhere. Oh, look, this is now a 1-2-3 triple. That can't be 1 because it's not red. And actually this, no, we need a sum that is a sandwich that is greater than 2. I'll tell you what that means. That means this can't be a 3. Because if this was a 3, that would be the 1 and that would be the 2, and the sandwich would only be 2. This is a 6, 7, 9 triple. This is a 4, 5, 8 triple. Gosh, was that easy to learn that stuff? It wasn't for me. Let's remove 5 from those candidates. 6, 7, 8. Oh, so this digit is either 5 or 9. These are all in the sandwich. So these sandwich clues, they're all but done. I mean, I've basically got almost nothing to learn from the sandwich clues. So the rest of the puzzle is the bulbless thermos. And we're climbing from here. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So 8 in this row is in one of those 2 cells somehow. No, I don't think that's right. I don't see why 8 couldn't be here. At some point I've removed 8 from that or not put it in. Oh, it can't because those are both bigger. Okay, that's all right. So 8 is in one of those cells and it's not there in the corner, and that means this isn't 7 and this isn't 6. And we're climbing from 1, 2, 3 or 4 here. That can't be 5 either, so this isn't 4. That's just Sudoku. And now this can't be 4, or this would be a 4, 3, 2 set. This is something I established ages ago and keep on not realizing. Oh no, I only established it in a certain condition, which has gone. But because that's 2, 3 or 4, this can't be 4, 3, 2 now. So that's not 4. And this is 6 or 7. And now this must be where 9 is. Good Lord. This puzzle is remarkably clever. Good grief, I've never seen the like of this. This is so strange. And we've got to ascend to that 6 or 7. So this is 2, 3 or 4, and that is 2, 3 or 4. This is 6 or 7, making this 7 or 8 on this branchy bit. This is constricted by not being 9, 6, 7 or 8. This is getting stranger still. 8 is definitely, well, this is 2, 3, 4 or 5, which are almost a quadruple there, but not quite. These are definitely from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This puzzle is so peculiar. Oh, 9 can't be there now. That means that can't be 8 and that can't be 7. So, oh, this also can't be 4 by Sudoku. That can't be 6 or 7. Oh yes, I got this 7, 6, 5 going down here. There's also some other Sudoku eliminations that I get as a result. Now, that can't be 6 or 7. This can't be 7 only. But it also can't be 8 now because that can't be 7. So if this is high, it's a 9. But look, it can't be 9. So this is the low end of this thermo. Oops. That's brilliant. So we're climbing from this end. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, but not 9. This can't be 9 by Sudoku, so that can't be 8. This can't be 7. This can't be 6. This can't be 5, and it's definitely 3 now. And then I can do 2 and 1 and colour the 1, and that is the last red in this column. That's not a 1. This one is a yellow colour. I probably don't need these colours anymore, but I'm keeping going with them because it sort of sparked the success when I thought about them at all. Wow. This puzzle, neither of those can be 2s now by Sudoku because of this. And that 3 is looking at this cell. Now that might tell me which way round this thing goes. It does. This can't be the low end because 2, 3, oh maybe it can. Oh, that's so weird. If this is a 6, this is the low end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's impossible. Because this can't be 8. Right, so this is not the low end. This is the low end. 1, 2 or 3. 2, 3 or 4. 5 or 6, but this has to be 5. We can fill in the rest. 6, 7, 8, 9. Colour the 9. And that must be 9 by Sudoku in the column. And that's not 9. This is 9. Oh, wow. I am mind blown by this. That is 3 or 4. In fact, we've got a 3, 4, 8 triple down here. That's not 3. That is the same as that, whatever it is. 8, 4, 3. In fact, we've got a 1, 2 pair there. That's 6, 7. This surely can't be at the low end of its thermo. No, because we've got those. So this is at the high end of its thermo, which starts with 2, 3, 4. Then this is 3, 4 or 5. it can't be 6 by Sudoku. It can't be 3 by Sudoku. That's even easier to see. So I've got a 4-5 pair, and that's an 8. And that fixes 8 in box 3 somehow. And that makes that a 7 and finishes this B thermo, or the most of the B thermo. That might finish the, no, absolutely doesn't finish the rest. Sudoku does that 6-7 pair. This remains 2, 3 or 4, as do everything else in the column. Right, now 3, 4, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7 I can place there. That's one of 1 or 2. I should probably keep the colours going. In fact, look, I've got a 6, 7 pair looking at that cell. That's a 9, which gets a colour. That's a 6, 7 pair. There's no more sandwich clues to worry about. That 7 is looking at this cell. 5 is looking at that. 8 is looking at that. My goodness, this is intriguing. 1 is in one of those 2 places. In fact, let's just look at 9, 6, 8. That can't be 6. That's important, because this is now in the 2, 3, 4, 5 quad. And it's also bigger than this, which is 2 or 3. So 5's in one of those. In fact, these are 5 and 6 in the top row. That's a 3, 4 pair, so that's 2. This must be known, it's 7. 7, 8. This is a 2, 4 pair by Sudoku, and that's 1 and 3. So 1 gets a funky colour. This cell doesn't. This gets a green colour. This gets red and yellow. This is 8 and 9, and they can be filled in, it seems. So let's do a bit more colouring. This one is not 3 like that. It's 2 or 4. And that means this is a 4. That means this is a 3 down here. Oh, I could colour all of those as well. There's a 1 to be fitted in here, along with 2 and 4. My goodness, this is just blowing my mind every which way. Justin has come up with something extraordinary here. There's a 2, 3 pair, so that's a 1. I'm going to colour that. How am I going to... Oh, is there still a sandwich to work out? I don't know how I'm going to do this 1, 2 pair. Deadly pattern. Yes, of course, I needed the red 1 in this row. It's simple sandwich nonsense. That's a 1, which is red and yellow. That's a green 2. Okay, these bottom 3 rows, they are now completely done. That's a 3 and a 5. That's a 2. This is 6 and 4. All of those are green. Okay, these don't have a 2 in, nor does that. That makes it a 1, which means it's obeying the rule in this column. But it also means I can colour. And that is now green and therefore 4, and this is now red and yellow like that. That's all my reds, that's all my colouring done, in fact. That's, now I'm just finishing off. That's a 1, that's a 4. This is 3, that's 2. I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. 2. Let's look at these thermos now. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, branching to 6 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 6, branching to 8 and 9. Yes, they all work, and that is the solution to an extraordinary puzzle. I would like that toaster, Justin, because that's amazing. What an extraordinary puzzle. What a brilliant piece of work. So few clues. I was in such a fog at the beginning, and yet it all works out. Glorious. Really glorious. I take a bow to you, Justin. Congratulations. And thank you for sending it to us. Thank you for watching. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Do come again tomorrow. Bye for now.